Okay, I'm going to try to show you a few of the basics in ArcMap. This is my first attempt at a video, and we'll just see how it goes. You'll start with a blank map, and the default hand tool is the pan. I prefer the arrow because it doesn't move things around when you don't want to. There are two ways to add data. You can press the plus button there. Watch out where it goes, because it goes to the last folder that you used, and you can go to your connected folders if you have some. Those are somewhat handy. I'm going to start with the Kentucky counties map, and I have a county polygon in the state plane Kentucky coordinate system, and I say add. Another way to do that is to just go to your catalog, navigate to your Kentucky counties, and just drag it in, and we now have two copies. We don't need but one. I'll right click on the title and remove it. The color that is displayed is arbitrary. In general, we would want that to be hollow in this case. Save your work often. I'm going to save as, and in my folder for this fall, I'll just call it video _ demo _ KY. We can label the counties if we want to. If I say label features, it happens to default to the county name. We can another time I'll show you if you want to label something else. Right now I'm going to turn them off. I think I'll go ahead and add a few more things here. Let's add our topographic map. We'll add the index. That tells us what we want. That tells us which tile we're going to order. And let's label it with the tile names. Pick the zoom tool. Let's zoom on into Madison County. Something like that. And I may want to return to this view if I want to save that view. I can go up here to the bookmarks and say create a bookmark, and I'll just name that Madison County. Now go back to my arrow pointer so I'm not zooming in when I don't want to. So next, let's go to the full extent. This picture of the globe here is the full extent. That'll go to the full extent of your map. If you did that by mistake, you can hit the back arrow, go back to the previous extent. So the Berea quadrangle is tile N43. Let's go ahead and add that. So N43, there's a file called GIF and a file called TIFF. The GIF file is what they call the collar of the map. That's not what you want. You want this TIF file. It's like a JPEG, only a different one. I'm going to zoom to that layer, and I think I'll make another bookmark. and I'll call this Berea quadrangle so that I can get back to this spot whenever I need to. Alright, I'm going to turn that off for the moment, and I'm going to go back to Madison County. Now what I want to do, I want to save another file that's only Madison County, and to do that I will make a selection right up here. So I'm going to select by attributes, and we're going to create with push buttons rather than with scripts what's called a structured query language, a query. And so what I want to do, that's the wrong layer. Make sure you're picking from the right layer. I want to pick from the county polygon layer. I want to pick the name, so name shows up here, equals, and I'm going to go to this unique values button, and I'm going to go down here and click, 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 whoops, Madison, and say I can apply it to see if it works, or if I'm confident I can say OK. And so I've selected that with this kind of cyan colored line there. So now there are different ways to display only Madison County, but I'm going to save a separate file. So you right click on the source of that selection, right click, go down here to data, then export data. I'm going to use this layer's source data coordinate system, once again state plane, and watch out where it's going to put it. It's going to put it, it's putting it where I don't want it, and it's giving it a name I don't like. So it's putting it in the wrong folder, topographic, and it's naming it export output. Try to be careful about that. So I'm going to put it in Kentucky counties, and I'm going to call it just call it Madison. I'm going to save that, say OK. It asks, do I want to add the exported data to the map? Yes, I do. And there it is. We no longer need our selection, so I can click on this little command here to clear the selected features. So we now have a new shape file that's only Madison County. Let me turn that off to get it out of the way, and let's zoom. Well, we already zoomed back to there. Let's turn off the county polygons. Let's make the display hollow. Let's turn on the label so we know where we are. Now I'm going to show you another thing, how to make a selection by location. Once again, there are a couple of different ways of doing this, but for your upcoming project, you're going to want to select out some Kentucky roadways that are only within Madison County. So let me add the roads, make that smaller. There are roads, and I want the state roads shapefile. That's the state maintained roads. We'll also later get the smaller roads, but we'll wait on that. So there are the roads, and let me make that black. Let me accentuate this a little bit. Let's pick a color here. Let's make it dark blue and make it 1.5 points so it shows up a little better. All right, so now I've got the roads, but of course for part of what you're going to do this next week, you will want to select out the roads. Now you can do a selection by location, but it's more what I'm going to show you right now is more reliable. So I'm going to go to my toolbox, get rid of that. There we go. And there are so many different toolboxes that it's difficult to find things. I happen to remember where this one is, but usually I don't. And so your best bet is to search. What you want to do is clip. We're going to make a cookie cutter, essentially, the shape and size of Madison County, and we'll search for the command clip. So there's several possibilities. The clip coverage refers to an old style of data storage. That isn't what we want. Here, clip is under the analysis tools. So let's go back. We can click right on there, or we can go over here to the toolbox window. So under analysis, we want to extract some data. We want to clip. My input features are my roads, state roads. My clip feature is my cookie cutter. That's my Madison County outline. We don't need to do anything with the XY tolerance. And we say OK. And if all goes well, all right. So we now have our clipped roads, our cookie cutter. I can turn off the state roads, and there are my roads just within Madison County. As I say, there are a couple of ways to do this. One is less reliable because of some things we'll go into later. But that is all for this video, and we'll see how it goes.